What's good, y'all? My name is Marc Russell. I'm a financial wellness board member with the National Debt Relief. I have over a decade of experience working in the financial services world, and it's my goal to make very complex topics that you hear every single day. I want to make them easy so you can transform your financial life. Why would I do that? Well, even though I was doing all right by myself as a licensed financial advisor and stockbroker some years ago, I found myself in a significant amount of debt. At my highest point, I was around $80,000 in debt, so I know firsthand what it means to be stressed when it comes to paying off debt. However, at one point I had enough and I said I needed to turn things around and turn around my financial life. Right now, I'm very proud to say I'm 100% debt free and I'm on a mission to help others take control of their financial life too. You probably clicked on this video because you want to learn more about budgeting. Maybe you heard about budgeting online or from a friend or a colleague or a family member mentioned over dinner that budgeting is one of the most powerful ways to take control of your financial situation. And that's probably not a coincidence because I believe so too. For me, it really hits close to home because I actually help people professionally budget their money, and that has become my profession over the last 5 years. And I actually use the same budgeting methods that we're going to go over in my own debt-free journey of paying off over $80,000 of debt. To this day, I still budget religiously and it helps me immensely, which is why I want to spread the word and help as many people as possible use this very powerful tool at its fullest advantage. As a start, a few months ago, I wrote out a comprehensive budget guide, which was posted on the National Debt Relief website, and you'll find a link to that guide in the show notes. Today, I want to talk more about the tips in that guide and provide a little bit of context too, in the hope of making clear what budgeting is, how to get started with budgeting, and what to keep in mind when you're doing it. So without further ado, let's dive in. First, if you're new to budgeting, you're probably like, WTF is budgeting? It has definitely become a little bit more of a buzzword over the last few years, everyone giving their own definition of it. So let's agree on what budgeting is and what it isn't. For me, budgeting is all about creating a financial plan and outlining how you will use and spend your money. Typically, this process involves tracking your income and expenses to make sure your money flows towards whatever you want and what you need, both in the short term and in the long term. A budget is a great way to keep track of your progress towards your financial goals and help you identify ways in which you may be able to save some extra money. The goal here is to make sure your budget works for you and your financial goals. And it shouldn't feel like a jail cell. It shouldn't feel like it's restricting you from living your life. And you might be wondering, why should you start budgeting? I already mentioned it briefly already, but there are plenty of reasons on why someone might choose to budget. The first argument that you might hear in favor of creating a budget is that it could help you organize your finances. After going through the process of drafting a budget, you'll gain an understanding of where your money is flowing, allowing you to make better financial decisions. A budget can help you immensely with organize your finances and helping you take control of your financial situation. Another important reason you may want to start budgeting is that it could help you reach your big financial goals, whether it's buying a house, getting a new car, or saving up for that dream vacation. By drafting up a budget, you'll define those goals and track progress towards them. For me, budgeting helped me pay off $80,000 of debt, helped me go and manage my money so I can go and be my own boss, and basically quitting corporate America. And it also now allows me to invest the majority of my income. Again, budgeting has helped me reach my financial goals instead of keeping me away from my financial goals. And I believe budgeting can make it easier for you to reach your financial milestones. Sure, it might take some time to reach those big goals, but trust me, budgeting makes it so much easier instead of flying in the dark. Another big reason on why people start to budget is because it helps them take control of their debt. Next to having a clear overview of what money comes in and flows out every month, within your budget, you can choose to prioritize debt repayments as well. If you have a significant amount of outstanding debt, you could choose to set up your budget in a way that allows you to become debt-free as fast as possible. If you have a solid budget that you can stick to each month, you'll have a better understanding of what comes in and what goes out every month. So this means that creating a budget will not only benefit you and your wallet, it will help you reduce financial stress and minimize the anxiety you feel around money. Now that you know why budgeting can be a powerful tool in your pursuit of controlling your own finances, you may want to start budgeting yourself. Right now, I want to go over the 5-step plan that you can use to become a budgeting pro. First, ask yourself what's coming in every month. Now, admittedly, this is probably the easiest part. Most people could tell me how much money they made last year, but not everyone could tell me how much money they spent over the last 24 hours. But as it relates to income, make sure you're including every income source you have. especially if you happen to have more than one. This can be salary, income that comes from investments, rental properties, any gig work that you might do. I want you to make a list of whatever income hits your account regularly. Now we're going to check on what's coming out on a regular basis. Because if you're anything like me, when I first started budgeting, I was going out to eat, I was having drinks with my friends, I was doing all types of stuff, and tons of money was just constantly flowing out of my account. So to figure out how much you're spending on a month-to-month basis, you have to collect as much data as possible. I want you to get your bank statements, your credit card statements, receipts, anything that you can get your hands on. Or you can open up your banking app and go through all the expenses that you made in the last several months. Next, you're going to want to categorize all those expenses and put them into buckets. Think housing, transportation, utilities, groceries, entertainment, clothes, self-care, and any miscellaneous items. Now, you can do so by using a good old pen and paper, but for me personally, I like to use an Excel document or a budgeting app, mostly because my handwriting is pretty terrible. The rule here is to make sure every expense falls into a different category. But keep in mind on why you're actually doing this. You're doing this because these categories you're actually going to place in your budget and create your full budget. Again, if you're anything like me, tracking this spending may help you spot certain patterns in your spending. Like for me, when I was first starting off, I realized I was paying a lot of money going directly to clothes. So by going through this exercise, you might find areas where you can save and fully understand where your money is flowing. And then more importantly, if this money is flowing towards what your financial goals are. Because if your goal is to buy a house, but you're spending all your money on Uber Eats, a lot of people in the beginning of the year didn't tell me that their financial goal is to pay a bunch of money to Uber Eats, right? So you want to make sure your expenses align to your goals. This is a great exercise to do once in a while, even if you're not planning on creating a budget. Now you know where your money has gone in the past, it's time to start looking forward. That's why in this step, you'll define the financial goals that you may want to include in your budget. And these goals can be virtually anything. Looking to become debt-free in a certain amount of time, want to go on that dream vacation, or are you in the market for buying a house and need money for that down payment? Note your goal amount and desired time frame and be as specific as possible so you have something to look forward to in your budget. This is also where you can account for investments. For example, a goal of yours could be that you want to have $5,000 invested within 3 years. Or maybe you want to prepare for a rainy day and start building up your emergency fund by putting in $50 in it every month. Whatever your goal, make sure you have it written down so you know exactly what you're working towards. In this step, you're actually going to create your budget. This is where you assign a portion of your income to each expense category and the goals that you defined in the previous step. One popular way of budgeting your money is the so-called 50-30-20 rule. This means that 50% of your money goes towards needs, 30% goes to wants, and 20% goes to savings. And then it's up to you to decide what the difference between a need and a want is, of course. Another method to consider is called the pay yourself first method. This entails assigning money to your savings goals and any absolutely necessary expense first, and then assigning the remaining money to your wants. But to be completely honest here, just coming from experience, the method that you use doesn't really matter. What's really important here is that you make your budget sustainable. You have to be willing to stick with it week after week, month after month. That's how you make a budget work. Awesome, your budget is ready now. But after you create your budget, you're not officially done yet. This last step that I'm about to go over is probably the most important. You'll want to regularly check your spending against your budget and gauge whether you're still on track. You have to continually ask yourself if your budget is indeed sustainable and working for you. Also, if something in your life happens and it's a big change, such as moving to a different city or a new member is added to your family, congratulations, you may need to adjust your budget. Remember, the only constant in life is change. So be prepared to modify your budget whenever you need to. After following these steps, your budget is ready and you're well on your way to having full control of your finances. But please keep in mind the following 3 things in the process. Maybe the most important thing to remember here when creating a budget is that you want to make sure it's sustainable. A budget is something for the long term if you want to reap all the benefits of what budgeting can do for you. When you find yourself sticking to your budget for a longer period of time, allow yourself to have a little bit of a treat once in a while and celebrate that success. This can help you stay motivated and also stay the course. For me, when I was paying off debt, I would put a little bit of fun money in my budget. So I would go off and just pay for whatever I wanted to pay for so I can have a little bit of fun myself. And it was also my way of saying thank you from my future self. And it doesn't have to be expensive. For me, I wanted to celebrate by having ice cream night. Whatever makes you excited, go have fun. The last point I want to make here is that you want to make sure sticking to your budget is as easy as possible. How do you do that? Well, what you could do is automate your transfers to your savings accounts and bill payments. And most people watching this, you probably already have a big bank, and that big bank probably has that option. Use a budgeting app and method that you're comfortable with, and review your budget regularly to check if it's still in line with what you want to do with your life. So let me know in the comments, how is your budget looking right now? Do you feel confident about your financial future? I hope that after watching this video, you have some tools that you can use to comfortably create your own budget. And if you still have a couple questions, feel free to drop your comments below. If, however, you currently are in debt and you can't seem to find a way out, remember that there are debt relief companies out there that can help you in your journey of becoming debt-free. Debt relief companies like the National Debt Relief have certified debt experts who are there to help you out. If you have any questions or would like a free, no obligation debt relief consultation call with them, visit their website at nationaldebtrelief.com. If you happen to have any questions regarding any other financial related topic, check out the other videos in the series on National Debt Relief YouTube channel. It's our goal to make very complex financial concepts that you hear every single day. We want to make them easy so you can transform your financial life. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.